Today we're going to talk about branding 101 for real estate. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I have just a brain that works in a marketing fashion. In lead generation for real estate, there are two different ways, actually one different way that I look at it, but there are two parts to lead generation. You have marketing on one side and you have prospecting on the other. I believe that when you blend both of those together, that you can have a powerful presence in your marketplace. You can generate a massive amount of business and leads when those two things are working in tandem. So you have prospecting and you have marketing. And today we're talking about marketing. More specifically, we're diving a little bit deeper and we are talking about branding. I might ruffle a few feathers right here, and I'm just gonna have to be okay with that, because what I see a lot of people for their brand use just a house. Now, I understand that real estate agents, they sell houses. But if your brand is a house, you are not setting yourself apart or differentiating yourself from the thousands of other realtors in the marketplace. So please do not use a house in your logo. I know you're going to be tempted to do that. Please do not do that. How do you do it? Because this is something that can be challenging. It can be very tricky. And a lot of agents come to me and they're like, well, I want to create a brand, but what does it look like and what do I do? There are a couple things that you can do. I want you to think outside the box. And I want you to also simplify. If you look at the most successful brands out in the marketplace, and let's just forget about real estate for a second, just the most successful brands, they're clean, they're simple, and they're identifiable. I'm going to post our logo right up here. It's Green Group Real Estate. I just happen to be blessed with a great name, Andy Green. Green Group Real Estate. They just go well together. But I believe that our brand is one of the reasons why we've had such a high level of success in this business in a very short time period, because what I did is I built the business with the end in mind. So I started with a strong brand, and then I saturated our marketplace with that brand. So that's really key number one, is you want to saturate and use that brand and be consistent with it across all platforms. So what does that mean? That means YouTube, which you may be watching this on YouTube right now, Facebook, Instagram. Let's just stop there because there's so many different social platforms. That's not the point of this discussion. Create a brand and be consistent with it across all of those platforms. So create a business page around your brand, create an Instagram page, and probably most important, not probably, absolutely 100% most importantly, you want that brand to be identifiable in your sphere of influence and your local marketplace. So pick a farm and saturate that farm with your branding. We've talked about social media. Next is signage. You want to make sure that your signage is everywhere. Let me say that again. Your signage is everywhere. So when you do an open house, be strategic about where that open house is located and put your signs everywhere. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me in my local market. I live in a town of a population about 20,000 people are like, I see you everywhere. Well, that's very intentional because we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and you see our signs everywhere. So we do open houses in our farm. When we have a listing, we put as many signs as is possible, according to the city, and sometimes maybe a little bit more. But branding is so important, and it's just an often overlooked aspect of the real estate business. People typically will use their name as their brand, and there are a lot of different sides to that equation. I had my name in our brand, so I had Green Group Real Estate, and then AG, Andy Green was a part of that for probably about 2 years. And the reality is I wanted to build a business that goes beyond me. It's focused on our agents and what they're accomplishing and what we're doing together as a team. So I took my name out of it about 2 years into the business, and I've never regretted that for 1 second. So let's wrap this up. The importance of a brand, I can't state it enough. Make sure that you have a brand that is identifiable, it's recognizable, you're saturating it across as many platforms as you possibly can. You're doing a great job with open houses in your local farm, and the signage around those open houses is just like mass saturation. You will not regret it. You will generate more business when people think of real estate, or they're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or they're having a conversation with somebody else that your name and your brand comes up. Because if you're not number one or number two in mind share, you are out of the equation and you're just not even in the conversation, and that is not what we want. So, branding 101, brand your business. I'd love to hear your comments. I would love to see what you've done. And if you're just struggling with it, then leave me a comment down below. Let's private message offline a little bit, or actually it's technically online. But I'd love to give you my feedback and my perspective from somebody that has focused on a brand since 2011, building our business. And it is, if you ask anybody in our city, it is widely recognizable, and I believe we've done a great job with it. So leave me a message down below, shoot me a DM, and I would love to help. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you guys have a fabulous day, and until next time.